this project, we're gonna make these cute little primitive jelly jars. So I have 3 like this with the little handle on the side. And here's the other one. They're all alike. I got these at Goodwill for like 59 cents each. I normally will save glass jars like pasta sauce jars, any kind of sauce in a jar. Anything I buy to cook with that's in a glass jar, I normally save it unless I get a crazy amount, and then I may start throwing some away. Oh yes, and the Starbucks jars, the Frappuccino jars are the perfect jars to save and make crafts with, and definitely like mason jars and things like that. But I went ahead and picked these up when I was at Goodwill that day because they were all alike, and I love the little handle on the side. So, and I had in mind that they would make the cutest little jelly jars. Also, I have in my stash these cute little jars, and I actually got these for 59 cents as well. And I actually think I have 8 of these in total, but I'm just going to do 6 of them tonight for this craft with to use them to do the jelly jars, and just to save a couple in case I want to, just do a little something different with those. I just think these are really cute. They were some type of little seasoning jars. They've got the little shaker top on them. But I thought they probably just came in like a set, like a spice rack or something like that. But they are so cute. So the first thing we're going to do with our jars, we're going to give them a good rub down and cleaning with rubbing alcohol. This is going to take off any, hang on one sec. Okay, I had to grab my napkin. This is going to take off any oils or grease from, just fingerprints and things like that. So you've seen me before use this technique before I which actually we're not even going to be painting the outside of these jars, but I'm just so used to doing this anytime I work with glass or a slick shiny surface, ceramic or anything like that. I'm just so used to doing this. It's a great technique to get your glass clean. So even though we're not going to be actually painting these, it's still something good. And also, like the Goodwill will write the price on the bottom of the products with a permanent marker. And the rubbing alcohol is usually good about, it just takes it right off. See? It just takes it right off. So normally anything I purchase, I'll clean it with rubbing alcohol. It's just a good way to clean. Okay, I'm just going to finish cleaning these little jars and we'll go to our next step. Okay, got them all clean. Now, the next thing we're going to do, I'm just going to show you to make our jelly. We need this silicone. I got it from Walmart. I got the clear. I guess it doesn't matter because we're going to dye it anyway, but they do have it in white also. But probably the clear would be best because that white, I'm sure, would lighten our dye. Now, I have seen people just put their paint in their silicone and mix it up, and I'm sure that works fine, but I saw another crafter the other day, and she actually used alcohol ink, and so I picked some up at Walmart. This came in a pack of 2 for like around $3, something like that, and so it's giving me a red and a blue. And then, of course, you mix them together, you get purple. So tonight, I'm going to do strawberry jam jelly, and grape. So we'll start out with our red so we can do our strawberry jam jars. And then I'll just add some, and I'll probably have to mix up some more silicone anyways. But then I'll just add some blue, mix that up, and that's going to give us our purple, like our grape jam or jelly. So let's go ahead and get our jelly mixed up. And then I'm just going to divide the jars. I know I only have 3 of these, so I may do like 2 strawberry, 1 grape with that. And then I'll just divide my little jars evenly and do half and half. All right, so let's get our jelly mixed up. Okay, to start off with, I'm just going to squirt our silicone right in our bowl here. And it's actually coming out white, so I'm not exactly sure if it's just going to dry clear. I hope that's the case. Okay, now we're just going to put our dye in our silicone. Just going to do a few drops. We'll start with a few drops and we can always add some more to get it the color we're trying to get. So I'm just playing around with this. I am so excited to finally be able to do this. I have been wanting to do it for quite some time. I'm going to go ahead and put some more dye because we definitely need some more. And I've been cleaning house all day and I did some yard work. And so late this evening, I was finally able to make it into my craft room. I had a few projects to finish up, and then I wanted to start these jelly jars. So I hope that they turn out good. Alright guys, I've got our strawberry jam all mixed up. I think that looks good. I did end up adding some chalk paint in the color crimson, which is red. I'm not sure why the silicone was white, because it plainly says clear on the pack. So I don't know if it's just going to dry clear or what. So I think that sort of messed up, you know, getting my color how I wanted it. I had to use, you know, a lot more dye than I probably would have had to, but it's okay. So we're just going to go ahead, and I've got my jar here, and we're going to get, hang on. Okay. So I've just got a plastic spoon, and I'm going to put our jam mixture on the back of the spoon. And I'm actually going to start and just put a dollop in the bottom of the jar and just sort of spread that around the bottom. And you don't need it super thick, but you know, you do want it to be a nice coat, not too thin, because you don't want light to shine through it or anything like that. Okay, and then we'll just keep getting us some on the back of our spoon and just coating that inside of that jar. And just moving it around in there. Getting it all over, and as you can see, as I'm coating that, you can see how that is starting to look. And here is our first strawberry jelly jar. I think it is so cute. And it's just going to be even cuter when we get that little label on and everything. Now, these are going to have to dry a while. And since it's so late at night, I'm just going to let these dry overnight. And then in the morning, we're going to just go and do the cute label and embellish it with cheesecloth and little strips of ribbon and things like that. But we're just going to go ahead and move on to our little jars here. And being that I know how much silicone it actually takes, I may not be able to do all these jars tonight. I may just do 2 of each strawberry and 2 grape, and then 1 big jar, and just wait on the others for another time or something else. And these have the little top on, but it just comes right off. Now the only thing with these, the little neck on it is so small, I may have difficulties getting the silicone inside the jar to coat it. So I'm going to try it. I have a plastic knife here that I was using to stir. So I'm just going to try, sorry guys. So I'm going to try to get our jelly into, and you know, I wonder if I could like put it in there and shake it up. I just don't know about that. Like maybe if I could add a little water, because it's thick, but it's not like super thick. I don't know. Water may not like mix in with it. Just gonna see what I can do here. Go ahead and add some more, and I will just try to shake it up and see if that does it. Now another cute jar to use to do these would be baby food jars. Like if these little jars fail and I'm not able to do the jelly jars with these, I think I'm just going to go buy me some baby food jars, because those would be really cute. And the spout on them is much wider. Alright, so I'm just going to give this, guys, I actually think this is going to work. I may have to add some more silicone. Oh, I'm so glad. I actually think this is working. It is working, guys. Oh, I'm so excited. I just hope our color turns out okay. Hopefully after it dries, it will darken, I'm hoping, because right now the color isn't quite as red as I would like it to be for strawberry jam. But look at that, guys. Our technique worked. Alright, y'all, now we're going to make our grape jelly, and I actually had enough of the strawberry mixture to make my 3 little jelly jars like this. So I still have a little bit of strawberry in my bowl, but that's okay because we're just going to add the blue now. So we're going to mix the red with it because I want a purplish color for our grape. Just go ahead and mix up plenty of silicone in here. And when you do these, it's really better to just go ahead and make a bunch so you can go ahead and use up your whole package of silicone, so you don't have to worry about storing it and all that, and where it don't dry up and everything, because I'm sure it, you know, only lasts a certain amount of time before it hardens or dries and is no longer any good. All right, so here we go, making our grape. So I'm hoping that we can get a good color with this. I want a darker color. That's like, I'm hoping when our strawberry jelly dries that it is darker, because I mean, it looks pretty good, but I wouldn't mind for it to be a little bit of a darker red color for our strawberries. All right, we're getting a purplish color here. And again, I could add some paint to help me get the color I'm going for. I'm going to go ahead and add some more blue. And mix that in. Darken that some. And also, just to add, if you try this, just use stuff to mix and everything that you can just throw away, because you don't want to have to wash anything out in your sink. You don't want this stuff going down your drain, because I'm sure it could cause problems with your plumbing, because it will harden and dry. So just use things that you can throw away. And what else was I gonna say? I don't remember. And if you do have to rinse anything out, you could take it outside and rinse it out, you know, with the water hose. All right, guys. There is our purplish color. I'm liking that. I think I may just add a tad more blue and mix that in, and then we'll be ready to do these jelly jars. All right, I've got my jar ready, and I'm just gonna start by, oh wait, I gotta go grab me another spoon. Okay, I just got the one I had cleaned up and wiped off with my napkin. All right, so again, we're gonna start with the bottom of our jar. And just put that down in the bottom. Guys, our jelly jars are good and dry. Here is one of the little blueberry or grape ones. I think these turned out so cute. Here's the little strawberry one. So we had 3 of each of these. And then let me grab the big ones. Here's our strawberry one. And here is the grape one. So I think these turned out so good. Now we're ready to add little labels and embellish them. So I went and just printed out on just regular, you know, printer paper, just the word jam in different sizes, because I'm going to make little tags for them. So I did that. And then I also printed out homemade jam, mama's jam, granny's jam, just in different sizes. I weren't quite sure what size, you know, I needed to do, so I just printed out several different sizes. So we're just going to be making little labels and tags for our jam jars. Oh, and I also printed them on my vintage paper. So I weren't quite sure if I wanted, you know, them to be on vintage paper or just plain black and white. So I just went ahead and did both. Here are the little tags I got off of Amazon for our little jars. Look how cute and little those are for our little mini jars here. Those are going to be so cute. And I'm hoping to just decoupage jam onto these little tags, and we'll paint them all white. And then I have these little labels I got off of an Etsy shop. I can include the name of that shop. It's the Chocolate Rabbit. These are the Chocolate Rabbit graphics. But I purchased these and went ahead and printed them off for our bigger jam jars. I'm thinking this one would be good for, well, that's the strawberry one. And then I think I was going to use, let's see, that one's blueberry. I may have to kind of go and resize it though. It's probably a little big. And then this one just says fruit jam. So I'm either going to use this one or this one for our grape one. And I also printed it in this kind of like the antique version. Okay, we're going to go ahead and paint our tags here. I'm just using the color Plaster, which is an off-white color, in our chalk paint. I'm just going to go and paint one side and let it dry, and then I'll flip it over and paint the other side. All right, we've got all of our tags, the top side done. So I'm just going to put these to the side where they can dry. And we will go ahead and embellish the top of our jelly jars. We'll start with our big ones. I did have a lid. These jars, I got them without the lid, but I had some pasta lids that I just put over the top of these. So just to protect from getting that jelly substance on anything. Okay, and I have my drop cloth here. I've already cut to fit. We're just going to put over the tops of our jelly jars and just wrap them with our jute rope. And just tie them on there. Get these out. I'm not going to cut them. I'm going to use some of our grungy mix, and I'm just going to wet these edges and tear these out gently, just so we don't have that straight cut perfect edge on our label, because we do want these to look vintage. And I've decided to go with the homemade fruit jam blueberry label and our strawberry label. I know initially I was going to do grape, but I think our jam could pass for blueberry also. And I'm going to have to customize our labels, because the strawberry one may be okay, but I don't think all of our blueberry label is going to fit on our jar. Now, if I had the full-size quart jars, it would be okay, but these jars are a little smaller, but we can still make it work. Just tearing right along. And if you don't want your label to have the vintage look to it, you know, we used our grungy mix, you can just dab you a paintbrush in some water and wet your label around it. You can also do it that way if you don't want the cut like the vintage antique looking label, then you can do it that way as well. Okay, so I got that one out. I'm just finished getting this one. Might have to wet this one a little bit more. And I'll put these other labels to the side for another project, so we'll still be able to use these later. Okay, and getting to our blueberry label, or I'm holding it up, and I think I'll be able to do homemade fruit jam, but then this is going to have to cut off. I think I'm going to cut off right above homemade and just come down to the side of that fruit jam banner and then cut right above the blueberry. So the word blueberry won't even be on this jar, but we can always save that for another project. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my label fit to size our jam jar. Brush, and for this I'm just going to Mod Podge right on the back of our label. Make sure I get the entire label covered with our Mod Podge. Make sure you get those edges good. And you don't need a whole lot, just enough to get it coated. Okay, and then we're just going to place it onto our jar. We want to make sure we get it centered. Pull it over this way just a little bit. Okay. Just gently rub it down, rubbing those edges. I'll just take my, I'm smoothing it out. I'm just going to take this paper right here and use it to rub and smooth out. All right, guys. We're going to let this dry, but look how cute that is. I just love it. And then when our tags get done, our little white tags, we can decoupage the word jam that I printed out on my printer and have the little tag hanging over here on the side. And these are just the cutest little thing. All right, so let's go ahead and do our strawberry jar. All right, guys, with this one, I actually decided to go with the vintage label for our strawberry. So I have it cut out and ready to place on my jar. Just going to be doing the same. Putting the Mod Podge on the back of our label. Making sure it's coat really well. Just not using too much. Making sure we get our edges. And it's ready to place. I want to get it centered. And press down. Alright, now onto my little jars. I have where I printed off the little sayings. I already have one torn out, Granny's Jam, and I'm just going to Mod Podge each label on, just like we did our big jars. So I think that's going to be really cute. I've already got my jars cleaned up, and they're ready for Mod Podge. I was also thinking I may take my labels I printed off of the Etsy shop, and I may sort of cut some of them and customize them to fit a couple of my little mini jars. So I'm thinking I may do that to a couple of them too, just to have a variety with them, and you know, just to change it up a little bit. I'm just going to stick our label on, get it positioned on there. I just want to make sure my wording is straight. Alright, and making our little tags, the white paint dried, and I'm just taking Mod Podge and putting a little bit on the tag, and then I've cut out where I've typed and printed the word jam, and then just place it on my tag, and then sit over to dry. Now, when the Mod Podge has a little time to dry, I am going to go over these tags with our coffee grunge mix, just to blend everything in, and also just to give it that little touch of antique. Now, just putting our grungy mix on our little labels. I'm just dabbing it over them. And again, our coffee grunge mix is water, and you can do hot water if you want, and your instant coffee, cinnamon, and vanilla. And if I remember, I will put that recipe in the description box. And if it's not there, just comment and I will gladly give you that recipe. No problem. I love it. When you're doing primitive decor and anything you want to have that vintage antique look, I mean, it just takes your projects to the next level. I just love this coffee grunge mix. I use it on so many things. And it's so easy as well. Our last step for our jelly jars, I'm just getting some drop cloth cut to fit the top, just to embellish and decorate the top part, and to tie them with some jute string, and put our tags on, put our little decorative jam tags on. And then this cute little project will be complete. I think these are turning out so cute. And these are perfect for like just anywhere you want little decor, like on a tiered tray, or if you have, you know, if you fix a cute little vignette in your kitchen. I mean, these just make the cutest little addition to your decor, especially your kitchen decor, with them being little jam jars. Y'all, all that's left to do with our cute jelly jars is I want to take a little bit of our coffee grunge mix. Just look how cute these are turning out. Here's all the ones I printed the label off of the computer. I just went on my Microsoft Word and just typed out homemade jam, granny's jam, and mama's jam. And like I told you earlier in the video, I just tried different sizes of the font. And then I did the same thing to get my little jam to, you know, put on our tags. And now these are the ones where I just played around with those labels and just cut out certain parts of them and then decoupaged them onto our jars. I did strawberry on that one, blueberry on this one. And then this one, I just cut this little section out in our farm kitchen with the little blackberries on the bush. I thought that was too cute for these purple ones. And then I love how they turned out putting our drop cloth on here. So all I'm going to do now, and these will be complete, I'm just going to take our coffee grunge mix, and I'm just going to dab onto our drop cloth just to give this a worn vintage look. And something right there got on my hot glue gun and caused to have a little bit of blue. I'm not really sure what it touched, but it's okay. So this is all I'm going to do with our jelly jars, and then I'm going to call them complete. But I think these turned out so cute. Let me know in the comments what you think of these and which ones you like the best. If you like how I did, you know, the ones where I just typed off my own little label, or if you like where I cut out sections to do my label. I just love them all. I love each one. I just think they're just too cute. And they've been really fun to make. And these little jars I thrifted were perfect to make these little jelly jars. So from now on, when you get those, anything with a jar, when you get done using it, don't throw it out. Save it, and you can make these cute little jars yourself. And I also recently uploaded a video making primitive style vintage jars. A lot of the same things using our coffee grunge mix. So go over and watch that video if you missed it. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I did. As always, you can go over to my Facebook page, The Cutest Little Thing, and if you haven't already, I hope that you will give me a like and a follow on there. Also on that page, you can find my upcycled items listed and available for sale. I also ship. So just hop on over to that page, shop your favorites, and you can contact me through that page, and I will get those items shipped, and they will be on their way to your front porch. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will see you next time.